Morning, good morning, Bix Weir, roadtour.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. So, yesterday was a very difficult day for me on many fronts. um, but there's one thing I did want to talk about. First of all, I did send out a GoFundMe slash set up a web page. Let me give you the full story. Not the full story, but some of the story. Yesterday, I decided to put out a memorial for my son who passed away a few weeks back, and so it was hard to do that video. It was very hard, and I'm working on talking about it, and I put up the website, which I'll show you in a second, and I talked about it a little bit, and then I talked about the Road to Ruta stuff and some new things that the Fed was doing, and then yesterday, at one point during the day, Litecoin was the volume of Litecoin was so high that 84 million Litecoin were traded in 24 hours, which obviously is ridiculous. So it was a very difficult video to do. It's about 40 minutes long. I'm getting to the end, and all of a sudden, everything zaps out. I lost everything. I lost all of it. And then I lost it. And I thought, it was just meant to be, whatever, right? Then I turn on Bitcoin Ben's channel this morning, and he says same thing happened to him yesterday or today. Same thing. And now I'm angry. And it's very easy to get angry in the state I'm in. So YouTube decided, or the powers that be decided, information should not be getting out there. It is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And it's not going to stop me from posting. It did yesterday, though. But there was a lot of other things going on. So, Ben, I feel you. Those bastards are attacking us left and right. It is important that we keep up the fight. I'm not going to go fully into it, but if you haven't seen my memorial page for Toby, it's very top of Road to Ruta, Toby Weir's Memorial Fund. All the money that is raised is going to support New Style Motherlode, his beloved hip-hop dance company in Oakland. And they do need a lot of assistance. They don't have any money, and they work off a shoestring budget, and amazing people there, especially Corey Action. This man helped my life so much. And if you have the money, I know the cryptos are down. If you can give a little crypto, of course, we take Litecoin, but also cash in the GoFundMe account. So go check it out. I really can't talk about it all today. I don't feel up to it. I'll talk about it in the future. But thank you, YouTube, for destroying my day yesterday and putting me in a funk. Luckily, I have a lot of friends, and they all came over, and it turned out to be a good evening. But the daytime was the shits. So thank you, YouTube. All right. Now for the screw you to them. As you know, the cryptos are getting slammed down. Nothing different. But remember, these aren't the real prices of cryptos. Yesterday, the Litecoin volume was at 3.6 billion, 3.7 billion, and the market cap was 2.6. Basically, 84 million Litecoin traded hands in 24 hours, which is bullshit. These prices are bullshit. Everything about cryptocurrency exchanges is bullshit. I don't care what people are trying to do. If we don't have decentralized peer-to-peer exchanges through some manner, we got nothing. We don't know the price of anything. Just look at Chris Giancarlo, the head of the CFTC, saying, we had to take the Bitcoin price down with derivatives. With derivatives. You want someone to blame? That is called illegal market manipulation, Mr. Giancarlo, and you just admitted it, but it's not the first time. What about Bart Chilton saying JP Morgan was the one rigging the silver market, and then he is surprised out of the blue dead from a heart attack after he names JP Morgan as the silver rigger. And then we find out that I think it's up to 8 silver traders at JP Morgan are being indicted on RICO charges, but they aren't naming Blythe Masters and Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan itself. That is cover-up of fraud. That is criminal conspiracy within the DOJ, within our government. It's sick and it's wrong, and that's what we got to fight. And that's why they'll probably zap this video out too. The other thing I talked about yesterday was the change in the repos. We have another boost up in the repos. It's now over. Now this is repos and U.S. Treasury purchases and reverse repos. I want to show you what they're doing with the reverse repos. And then Monday, there's another big thing going on. But this is from the private road. I also on the private road, I posted a really, 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 really important discussion, how we got here and where we're going. It's an hour long. Check it out. If you don't know anything about the road to Ruta, you gotta watch this. It's on the private road, right at the, go to the private road. It is right there, right at the bottom of the first section. And read the other stuff too. Very important stuff. But definitely, let's talk about the repos. This is on Patreon as well. Here's what's going on with the repos. There is a new repo in town starting Monday. And this is going to get added to this total. So it's everything's like we're over 300 billion a day right now. It's at 312 billion. It was at 322 on Thursday. But over 300 billion a day, this is being added on top. Like I said, it's going to go exponential. Being added on top on Monday the 25th, announced right here, a 42-day repo. And you know at the end of 42 days, they're just going to renew it. So it's a full-on bailout of 25 billion. So you're going to see this number jump, the incremental jumps, and then I'm going to have to add another column here. And it's, well, no, I probably won't because it's a term maturity. I'll put it under the term maturity repos. So it'll automatically jump to $350 billion per night. Like I said, jumping, 700 is the number. 700 was the bailout in 2008. So I think it's a number because it'll shine a light on what is happening. A bailout without asking Congress. A full-on banker bailout while they're reporting record earnings and taking their bonuses at the end of the year. That's what is going to get everybody sick. So we're giving these banks money. They're insolvent. They were mismanaged due to the derivative book. JP Morgan, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, they're all taking money from the Fed. And they're paying themselves bonuses at the end of the year. It's going to get really stupid. If the Democrats want to win this freaking election, all they have to do is point this out. But they're in on the take too. They're in on the game. So hang on tight. It is getting ugly. Again, on Monday, we have a whole new ball game with this 42-day repo of 25 billion. And then Monday, December 2nd, on top of that, another 15 billion. Not to mention everything that goes on anyway, the 35 billion, the 120 billion. Basically, it's building. When we get 700, it is the bell's going to go off. When is that going to happen? It could happen any day. One of the things they did was a huge reverse repo. Let me show you where that one was. Last 25 operations. Here we go. So I want to show you, this is Friday. I think it happened. Yeah, it happened on Thursday. So you had a repo of 29. And I'm like, that's a little light of 29, but that's a term repo, which was taking the place of go back to this chart. It was taking the place of a $41 billion repo that had expired. So I'm like, that's kind of light. And then the next, these are staggered by like half an hour and then a couple hours. And then the next one comes out and it's like a big one, 74 billion. This is the same day. And that's the 1-day repo. And then this popped out, a reverse repo of 25.7 billion. What is going on with reverse repos? I add that to the total because without those, the banks would fail. Most likely it was banks that had rehypothecated the treasury bonds, as in two people. One bank had used it on an overnight repo, and then another bank had to use it for someone else, and they'd like, oh shit, what do we do? Let's do a reverse repo and give the title back to the criminal bank that is rehypothecating. Nobody really knows, truthfully, but it jumped out because usually it's only like 1 or 2 billion. 25.7 billion in 1 day. Without that, the banks would have collapsed. Remember that. So that gets added to the total. I add that in the overnights right here. That's why it jumped. And I talked about this for weeks. It's jumping by 10 billion at a time, from 30 to 50 to 60 to 70. It was in the 80s, 70 averages. Every week it averages higher and higher. Look at this week. It's jumping over 100. This week is over 100 billion in overnights. Next week it'll be 110. The week after that, probably 130. And climbing and climbing and climbing. So that's what's going on. I am still giving away Veritasium because it dropped back under 20 bucks. If you were smart, you go get yourself some Veri. And you know that problem with the exchanges I keep bitching about? Veritasium can solve that problem. In Cliff High's data, Veritasium does solve the problem when the U.S. government goes to Reggie Middleton and says, oh, by the way, we're sorry for being such dicks to you and throwing the book at you. Oh, by the way, we need your technology to establish peer-to-peer transactions in the New York stock market, the COMEX, and all other markets, because it fixes the problem of rehypothecation. You will no longer have these criminal banks that rig every market, but that's farther down the line. You should have it and just hold it in your hands. And if you don't have any and you want one, hit subscribe today at Road to Ruta, and you also get the Ruta coin jumping up and down on the Silver Brick Road. Holy crap, is all I have to say about silver. We're at any day now type of moment. When we hit December, I do believe Jamie Dimon and Blythe Masters will be trotted out, perp walk for them. That will be a good day as far as justice is concerned. Now, Ted Butler came out and said, hey, they're not going to do it because it would destroy the whole entire system. They're not going to bust Blythe Masters and Jamie Dimon. I would say there's a reason why Blythe stepped down from her cushy crypto job. We will see. It might be after the fact. The system might crash. Obviously, if the system crashes, they're looking for scapegoats, and then all bets are off as far as Jamie and Blythe. They can easily bust them because the system will already have crashed, which we are seeing on so many fronts. It's like pick your poison. So anyway, that's it. And if you have the ability, please check out Toby's Memorial Fund. I'm going to try to raise $10,000 for Core Reaction to keep New Style Mother Lode moving and moving forward in a positive light. All right. Anyway, thank you for all your patience lately. Probably won't be posting much around next week. Going to spend time with family for Thanksgiving, but I'll try to pop on here and there. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com.